I'm Megan Feebeck. I'm a transport officer here at Denver Metro. When I'm not doing transports, I help supplement the patrol division. We respond to calls for service, usually dealing with removing homeless from property, noise complaints, pretty much any calls that the police don't have the time to deal with. That's what we'll handle. So I started in this law enforcement security field back when I was probably, I want to say like 16. I actually went on a ride-along with my local police department. I liked it so much that I had joined their Citizen Police Academy, which basically we got to do ride-alongs like once a week. We were kind of like interns where we got to put on like little intern uniforms and go ride with the officers, and then they showed us basically what it was like to be a cop. And ever since I did that, I absolutely loved it. I went to school and got a degree in criminal justice, and then after I graduated college, I got hired right on to a law enforcement agency, and I've been doing it ever since, and I've loved every minute of it. Before I came to this company, I was in law enforcement for 4 years. I did 2 years in detentions and then 2 years on patrol. After that, I went to a security company where I did armed cash transport. So we would pick up cash from mainly marijuana dispensaries and bring it all to the Federal Reserve. And then I was a supervisor for a year at that company. I had enough of being a supervisor. I wanted to get back into the field, so I came here, and I love the variety that this company allows me. I get to come out here, drive around, visit with our clients, make sure their properties are nice. So one of the great things I really like about this company is the training that they provide. Some of the training we do handcuffing, we do customer service, building searches, arrest control, firearms. We do a lot of scenario-based training with our instructors. Will set up scenarios that we will most likely encounter out here, and that's essentially what law enforcement is. Every week we do a different kind of in-service training, and even in law enforcement we had like quarterly training we had to go to, and that was it. So this is a good company for anybody wanting to go into law enforcement because it gives them that hands-on experience that they're going to need. And the calls we deal with are calls that they're going to get dispatched to when they are part of law enforcement. So they're going to be able to go into that with a little more knowledge, a lot more training, and they're going to have a easier time passing the academy and field training. And it's just a helpful company for that. When I worked in the jail, one of the biggest things I learned is probably respect and rapport go a long way, and I like to try and carry that into this job because, here we see the same people every day. We kick the same people off the site probably a couple of times a week, but the jail really taught me that when I worked there because I was doing a walkthrough one night, and of course they're in the bathroom fighting. I don't have radio service, so a couple of the other inmates actually helped me out. Some of them ran downstairs and started banging on the windows to try and get other deputies to help me. And then a few others kind of like cordoned off the area so other girls couldn't just add to the fight that I was already trying to break up. And because they helped, like we had deputies in there within 30 seconds because, they went out of their way to help me. Not because they had to, not because they were obligated to, but I'd like to think it was because of the respect and rapport I had with them, because I treat them like humans. We all make mistakes, and they're still human, so that taught me that just treat them like human beings, and they'll come to your rescue when you're least expecting it and when they're not obligated to. In regards to being a female in a pretty much male-dominated profession, as it relates to this company, I haven't had any issues. No one's treated me differently here. As long as I can do my job, they've treated me as such. I think maybe back like years ago that used to be a bigger issue, and that females don't belong in here and they shouldn't carry a gun, and and stuff like that. In the past, there have been people who I've been dispatched to calls where they'll jump the call because they don't feel like I can handle it. I've been on calls where male officers would make comments that they were glad they were there because they feel like I couldn't handle it by myself, which is pretty frustrating, and I'm glad at this company I don't have to deal with any of that, because I mean, I can do the job as same as everybody else. It's skill level, it's not gender related, so we all advance together as a team. Even though there's day shift and night shift, we come together as a team when it's time to, and we all have everybody's back regardless of if you're a male, if you're a female. We all have each other's back no matter what. There's just a lot of teamwork at this company, and I'm really glad to be a part of it. Yeah? Things going well for you? I know last time I saw you, we didn't get off on the greatest foot together, but.
So we learn, and then we go through our levels and like in our heads, and I had an opportunity to get off the streets, and now that it's getting cold, I'm probably going to take it up, you know what I mean? Very nice girl, yes.
Yeah.
Even through all the I threw at you, man.
Oh, you remember all the you threw at me?
I don't remember it all, and I hope you did well. I apologize for that. Anything I can do to help you.
Hey, every day is a different day. I'm not going to hold it against you. We all have our bad days, so I get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm super proud.
happens, life happens, and we move on from it, so cool. Well, take care of yourself, and you too. I'm sure I'll see you around. One of the biggest things I've taken away from this company is respect will get you a long way. I'll contact the same people numerous times, and they'll go from being completely just out of sorts, yelling, screaming, not knowing who they are or where they are, and then coming back a week later, I'll see them again in the same spot, and they're doing well. And it's actually nice to see that. Specifically with the gentleman I contacted earlier, he's been in bad spots, and he's had some rough days. He's said some things that I guess you could take personal, but in this kind of work, you can't. He's got his stuff together. He was telling me how he's planning on, since it's getting colder out, he has a friend. He's going to move in with them. He does some side work with the garbage companies. He helps pick up trash, and it's nice to see that, you know, he's cleaning himself up. He actually has a plan to get off the street, and he's not just going from place to place, just sitting out there. He actually has a goal in mind, and his biggest goal, he told me, was he wants to stay clean, and that's been the hardest thing for him. And it's great to see that he has a plan, and he wants to actually stay clean and not go back to that lifestyle that I've seen him in only a couple months prior. And it's just nice to get to see that transformation from people you contact who are pretty down on themselves, and the next thing you know, they got a plan to move forward in life. Back when I worked in detentions, there was a female she was in and out probably every couple months, and she was never able to get her life together. And then one day she left, and she said it was the last time she was going to leave, and I left to go to patrol about a couple weeks after she left, and one day I was on a call, and she was actually walking by, and I actually got to see her out. She wasn't that inmate that I knew that was always causing trouble and always starting fights. She was actually a functioning member of society again, and she recognized me. She came up to me, she said hi, she said she was doing good in life, she was never planning on going back, and it was just really rewarding to see that, because I knew where she came from, and where she was now was completely different, and it is rewarding to see stories like that. And that's honestly what keeps me in this line of work and wanting to stay in the field, is seeing people finally do better for themselves when I know they have the ability to, and they just need to see it in themselves, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Somebody give me an oxygen tank. Oxygen ran out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go.
I'm out all the way.
Are you going that way?
I'm going back to the...
Okay, we'll get up there and let them know.
Please.
Yep. Are you grabbing your mask? Hey, I have a question for you. So we have a gentleman, he's on a motorized scooter. He's saying he's completely out of oxygen. He's on his way back here. He's down that road and it was coming up this way.
Is it him right
Yep,
there?
that's him right
Awesome.
there.
I will
So
call Rhonda right now.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't take you long.
No. Yeah, so they're notifying someone and they're gonna get it ready for you.
One down in my room, I just need somebody.
Yeah, so the lady at the front desk, she's aware of it, so she sees you coming. Yeah, of course. So they're waiting for you. Uh-huh. One of the things I like most about, I guess, this profession, law enforcement, security work, is just how many lives you can actually touch, and by doing like the simplest things. Like, it's still shocking to me. Like, I've called out tow truck drivers for people who are in car wrecks or who even have a flat tire, and just the look on their face and how grateful they are. Like, to me, it seems so small just making that phone call, but to them, it's like almost life-altering for that night. I guess it's probably because I've never been stranded on the side of the road, so I don't see how important that is, just to have that helping hand when a lot of people just drive by. Or even people who are trying to carry all their groceries out. I guess just taking that little step to help someone can actually be a huge help in the long run, and they actually thank you for it. I feel like this is just where I belong, is out here, boots on the ground, and that's where I'm happy at.